Hello everybody and welcome back to another video tutorial. In this video tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to create and sew the single welt pocket. In my previous video I showed you how to create and sew the double welt pocket. I will leave the link down below in the description box for the double welt. The difference between the two pockets is that the single welt has one welt showing through the pocket window and the double welt has two welts showing through the pocket window. Both pockets are usually found on jackets, coats, and some shirts, and at the back of the pants, not so much in the front. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. This tutorial is for a single welt pocket that is about 6 inches long and 6 inches wide. For this tutorial, you're going to need a main body piece, 2 welt pieces, one in the same color as the main body piece, and a pocket bag. You could make your pocket bag one or two pieces. I made mine a one piece because it's just easier. And finally, a fusible interfacing. The sticky side of the interfacing is usually the shiny side, and that's the side that you're going to apply to your 2 welt pieces, and also at the back of the main piece where your pocket opening will be located. The interfacing is used for strengthening and reinforcement. Before we continue, I want to draw your attention to the 2 welt pieces. You can see that the width on these 2 welt pieces are the same as the pocket bag. You want your welt pieces to be the same width as your pocket bag. This is so that it can be easy when you're attaching the pocket bag to the welt pieces. You will see what I'm talking about further on into the tutorial. Next, we're going to apply the interfacing to strengthen and to reinforce the 2 welt pieces and to the back of the main piece where the pocket opening will be. Cut an interfacing that is the same size as your 2 welt pieces. Then apply them to the wrong side of the welt pieces. Place a press cloth on the welt to apply the interfacing. Then flip the welt onto the right side and iron. I am only going to show how I applied the interfacing to one of the welt pieces. The process is the same for the second piece. Before attaching the interfacing to the main body piece, first determine where you want your pocket opening to be on your main body piece. Your main body piece would be a shirt, a coat, or a jacket, or also the back of a pants. After you've determined where you want your pocket opening to be located on your main piece, draw a rectangle that is 6 inches wide, and 1/2 inch to 1 inch long on both ends of the rectangle. The length, which is the shorter side of the rectangle, should be between 1/2 inch to 1 inch, but no more than 1 inch. Then draw a line in the middle to divide the rectangle into 2 parts. Come in 1/2 inch on both ends of the rectangle and mark. Then from those point marks, draw a triangle on both ends of the rectangle. Next, pin all the 4 corners of the rectangle to help you mark where the rectangle begins and end, so that when you flip the main piece on the wrong side to attach the interfacing, you will attach it to the right spot. Now apply the interfacing to the back of the main body piece the same way you did earlier by pressing it on with an iron. I'm going to do that off camera. Since I already showed the process before, I feel like there's no need to show that process again. Next, we're going to place the raw edge of the welt on the pocket, the middle line of the pocket window like so. And you're going to measure 1/2 inch on either side of the welt. That 1/2 inch will be, you will see the importance of that 1/2 inch on either side of the welt later on. So place the raw edge of the welt on the line and start pinning. Make sure you're pinning right side to right side. Start pinning horizontally very close to the raw edge of the welt. Do not pin vertically, and you see the importance of why you should not pin vertically but horizontally. Make sure you pin all the way to the other end of the welt. Once you're done pinning, fold the welt along the top pocket window line like so. Make sure your fold is straight. Then draw a stitch line along the crease that was created by the fold. This stitch line will help guide you when you're sewing. We're going to repeat this process again for the bottom welt. So we're going to start by placing the bottom welt on the line, and then we're going to measure 1/2 inch on either side of the end of the welt. And like I said earlier, the welt is 1 inch more than your pocket window. So here I'm just measuring the 1/2 inch on either side of the welt, making sure that my welt is placed properly on the line before I start doing anything. So you're going to go through the step of pinning, folding the welt, creating a crease line, and drawing a stitch line along the crease that was created by the fold. Just like you did before, fold the welt pieces along the ends of the pocket window like so. Make sure your fold is straight. Once you have a crease on both welts, draw a vertical line that crosses the horizontal stitch line that you did earlier. These cross marks on both ends of the welt will serve as a guide when sewing. You will need to sew from one cross mark to the other cross mark. Repeat this process for the other end of the welts. Stitch along the horizontal line on both welts. Now that the stitching is done, remember not to stitch along the vertical line. That is the two lines on the ends of the window. Fold the raw edges of the welt along the stitch line and pin down. This will allow you to cut through the pocket windows without any obstruction. Use your seam ripper to create a hole or a slit that is big enough for your scissors to go through so that you can cut the lines to create a window. Once you have a slit or a hole that is big enough, put your scissors through and cut along the lines on the window. Cut up to the end of the triangle and cut on either side of the triangle up to the corner, but do not cut beyond that corner. And do not cut into the welts. Repeat this process for the other end of the window. Once you're done cutting through the pocket window lines, remove all your pins on both welts. Next, tuck in the welts so that they will be on the wrong side of the main fabric. Next, iron the welt seam open. Then lay it over and iron. That way, you will lay it flat and neat. You can repeat this step as many times as is needed to get your welt to lay flat. Repeat this step for the other welt. Then iron the two little triangles to the side on both ends of the pocket window. Now we have everything ironed flat, the little two triangles to the side, the bottom welt towards the bottom and the upper welt towards the top. I quickly want to show you that this method also can be used to create a double welt. All you have to do is fold the top welt a little bit into the window and then do the same thing with the bottom welt. Just fold it a little bit into the window, and of course your two welts would be of the same color, like a different color from your main fabric. But here I'm just showing you what it looks like when you use this method to create a double welt. Of course, one of my welt is the same color as the main fabric, but if you're creating a double welt, the two welts will be of the same color but a different color from the main body piece. So now let's go back to creating our single welt pocket. To create the single welt, simply fold the bottom welt to cover the entire pocket window. Then press the welt to hold it in place. If your welt is not covering the entire window, all you have to do is just fiddle around with it until it does. Next, we're going to attach the triangle onto the welt seam. Sew from one end of the triangle to the other end of the triangle. Sew along the fourth line of the triangle. Do this for the other triangle as well. Now the two triangles has been sewn and attached to the welt piece. The purpose of sewing the triangle to the welt is to stabilize your pocket window so that it doesn't shift out of place. Flip your main body piece to reveal the welt pieces. You can see that one is longer than the other because the bottom welt was folded to cover the pocket window. You could trim it to be of equal length or you could leave it as is. Next, place one end of the pocket bag to the bottom welt, right side to right side, and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance to join the two pieces. Then press the seam allowance. First, press it open, then press it together to lay it flat and neat. Once that is done, attach the other end of the pocket to the top welt, right side to right side, then sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance to join the two pieces. Repeat the ironing process to lay the seam flat and neat. Next, give the pocket bag a good press to even it out. To complete the pocket, sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance to close both sides of the pocket bag. You could draw a 1/2 inch stitch line along the side of the pocket to help guide you when you're sewing. Trim about a 1/4 inch off of the edges on the side, and at this point you could use a zigzag stitch to lock the raw edges to prevent it from fraying, or if you have an interlock machine you could use that as well. Here is the complete look of the single welt pocket. Here is what the pocket bag looks like on the back on the single welt pocket and the double welt pocket. Here is a look of the single welt and the double welt side by side. Okay everyone, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If I have made the concept of creating and sewing a single welt pocket a little bit easier to understand and help further your fashion designing experience, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, share and leave your comments down below. Until my next video, bye and good luck.